Okay, in last session we discussed about top command, right? So this time, uh, I think we discussed about rsync as well, right? I think I haven't shown you, but just discussed about the basic about rsync, right? So we can use rsync for syncing the files within the same machine or else like between the machine. Okay. Now how to sync within a machine is this is the syntax, right? So you have to use the rsync command. So AZVR like recursively and this verbose AL like that, right? So it is going to, this is going to be the source location. This is going to be the source location. Okay. Just a second. So this is going to be a source location. And the next one for that is the destination. Okay, destination path. So this, whatever I have highlighted, that is the source location. And the other part is, that is, this one is a destination. Okay. Okay. So now if command is unidirectional or bidirectional? It is unidirectional. So when you run the command once again, it is going to sync the files from this location to this location. Okay. But what if it is a remote machine? Right? Source or destination, one of the be a destination, remote machine. So for that, let me tell you one thing. For example, this is my source machine. This is my destination machine. So I have to execute rsync like this. Rsync, right? What is the source? Okay, source is this location, some path. Like I want to sync the folder from my directory /home/ec2-user/something called as source dir. This is the directory I want to sync. Okay, this is the directory I want to sync. Same mission. Go on mute, guys. Okay. So if the destination is also on the same mission, then what can I do is, right? See, even after saying if you don't go on mute, I don't encourage this again. So next, if this is a destination, right? If it is on the same mission, then you can give some other directory /home/ something like Ravi user / something like destination dir. Like this, you can give the destination. Okay. But what if it is a remote mission? Right? If these are in the same mission, it's okay, fine. But if I want to sync between the missions, right, from here to here, right, then this is a source mission. But when it is copying the files from here to here, it needs to have some credentials about this. Means some username and password should be there. Okay. So for that, what we do is we do like this: username @hostname, or else let me show you this. Okay, just where is this? Okay, this like this. So this is going to be my rsync, right? This source path /home/ec2-user/ this path, right? When it is a host mission, is a remote mission. When the host mission is a remote mission, right? You have to write like this: username, whatever need to connect to this. Means when you want to connect from this mission to this mission, there should be username, right? So how we connect from my mission to some other mission? With username and password, or else like how easy to user we are connecting with username and secret file secret token, right? So here username. So I'm going to use this mission is also has some other user called ec2-user or like Ravi user, some other user. For example, Ravi user. Ravi at the IP address or else the host name of this mission. IP address or else like 172.32.1615.1 or 239. There will be some IP address. Or else the host name. Yesterday we discussed about the host name, right? So either the DNS you can give. Okay, either host name or DNS you can give. Destination path /home/ec2-user or Ravi user path or any other path also, no problem. If you have access Ravi/destination directory. Means what does this mean? I want to rsync between the files, I want to create rsync. This is a command. Then here I am specifying the source directory, right? So this is my source mission directory, means the files what I have to sync, those are present inside this directory, and I want to copy that or sync this to this mission, but to connect to this mission, I need to have a username and password. So I'm giving the username here. Next, after connecting here, where I have to copy in this mission, there will be /dev/abc/dir, like that. Many files will be there, right? Where I have to copy is to this destination. Okay, but where is the password I'm giving for this user? When you enter this, right, it will ask for the password. You have to enter the password, you click copy. But still, if you want to give the password, you can give in different ways, like -p, like that. There are different ways you can give as well. Okay. Now, the same way, I want to now tell me where I have to execute this command. On which mission? On this mission or this mission I have to execute this command?
First mission.
Source mission, because I'm syncing from there. Here I'm already on the mission, so I'm giving this. So using this, it will connect to this mission. I want to copy a file from one location to the other location, one directory to other location within the file. What is the command? CP for copying. But if I want to copy to from here to here, right, then instead of rsync, you just has to use SCP, right? If it is a copy, SCP you have to use. If it is a copy within the mission, but if you want to copy between the missions, then it is SCP. Same, the source location where what you want to copy, or else file name also you can give. File name, single file you want to copy, right? Next, username, host name or IP address of that, and the destination path. Next, it will ask for the password, you can give it. Okay. Next, like this, we can copy. Or if like if I want to copy from source mission to the destination mission, my source is a remote mission, right? I'm executing a command here. But the source is going to be there. From there to here, I want to copy. So in such case, what you can give is first source you can give. The source you can give this one, and destination is a current mission, like this. Okay. Source you are going to give this. So I'm executing on my this mission. I'm going to execute a command. But from where it has to sync is from this remote mission to my current local mission. It is going to sync like this. You can use, but I cannot show this. Like we don't know about how to give the password authentication. We can do token based authentication. As of now, we are going to how to connect AWS is with the token based only. But anyways, I don't want to waste time spending here. We'll see this because we use this not rsync also we use in AWS, and also SCP we use many times. So I'll show you this. Okay, remember this SCP and rsync, the difference between those, and we can do this between the missions or else in the same mission also. SCP normally we use different between the missions. rsync can be created within the mission or different missions. Okay, but I'll show you this, but not now. I want to create the two missions and I want to create a password authentication. As of now, we don't have any for the EC-type user. We are not using password. We are using PEM file to connect, which has a secret token, right? But how to do that and all? Do one thing. Take this assignment. I have a video. I already did a video, which is there in my YouTube channel. If not, I'll do it today. Or else, like you search it today, I'll do it tomorrow. What is the assignment is? Create password-based authentication for EC2 user. Okay, do this. I haven't taught this. I haven't explained you this, but just how you Google, Googling skills. How can you Google? How can you know that? I just want to know you that it's good. Self-learning is very good. All right. So I encourage that. So just I want to tell you, I want to make you people search and find. If not, I'll teach you. Don't worry about that. Just search how to means once you create an EC2 instance. So far we are logging with the password, username and PEM file. But I want to make you Google and search how to set a password for EC2 user and how to log in with the password. Okay. So far EC2 user is not having a password. How to set a password for EC2 user and how to log in with the password. Okay. Okay. That's okay. Fine. So that is about this. Anyways, maybe in the next class, I'll discuss about this, like how to set the password, those and all we'll discuss. It is there in the YouTube channel, or like I shared a document, I'm not sure. You try it tomorrow, I'll show you. Okay,
Sir,
next.
minus EZVR means, sir.
I'll explain now. Okay. P means verbose, re means recursive, A means all, Z one by one I'll explain just now. Maybe next comments. See, everything here has a meaning. So why can't you type rsync minus help? It will show rsync minus help. If you type, it will show the meaning of each and everything. Okay. You
Okay.
can Google it and find it anytime. Okay. Anyways, I'll discuss now also. Now we are going to discuss about zip command. Okay, let me start this instance. Okay, just a second. Okay. I connected to one of the AWS instance. Okay, this is the instance I connected, right? This is what we are using. Now, for that only, I just asked like such mission, how to create, means for this EC2 user, I used a PEM file to log in, but I want to make you to learn how to set up password-based authentication. You want to set up using password, right? Okay. If you type only, you'll get it in Google, but it depends on you how you can understand and do it. It is very easy. Okay, next, let's discuss about zip command. Zip. Okay. See, what is zip? I don't want to explain. Everyone knows that. Okay. If I have a file, I want to compress it. Right? Then we can use a, means there are different formats, like for zip, or like that. We know many format there are. Like we can use a zip format, right? One of means whatever the data is there, we can compress it, right? So how to compress that? Using zip format. So what is a command to zip? Is zip. For example, this file I want to zip. So Krishna, sorry, let me tell. This is the file I want to compress. Okay, but when you want to compress it, after compressing, it will get some name, right? So what is going to be the name? For example, Krishna.zip. So zip is the command. Krishna.txt is the source file what you want to compress. Once you compress this, what is going to be the name of that? Krishna.zip. And it is saying no, not match. Krishna, nothing to do. Okay.
Capital K, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good observation. Okay, so now I'm going to compress this. See, Krishna.txt stored something, it is showing. Now if I type ls, you can see that Krishna.txt is a file. For this, there will be one more file called as Krishna.zip. Do you have that? Is it zip? So if I see that ls minus l, if it has huge data, like if it has something like it is showing some memory, but less than that, right? It is compressed actually. Okay. Now I want to unzip it. When we have zip, we need to know unzip also, right? Now, when I want to unzip it, first this, if I try to, what is the command is unzip is a command. What is the file you want to unzip? Krishna.zip. But while unzipping, if you want to specify, right? What is that? If you want to use a default name, means while converting, what is the file we zip? This file, right? So if you try to unzip it, what it is saying? Replace Krishna. Already there is a file with the name Krishna.txt. So while zipping it, means inside the zip Krishna.zip, there is a file which is Krishna.txt, which is compressed, right? So after compressing, that zip file name I have given as Krishna.zip, but internally it has Krishna.txt, which is compressed format. So when I try to unzip it, it is saying already Krishna.txt is there. I'm trying to unzip the file Krishna.txt, which is inside this Krishna.zip, right? So it is saying, do I need to override it? Right? Replace that. Yes, no, or else rename it. Something it is asking is I want to override it. So it has extracted and overwritten this file. If you don't have this Krishna.txt, what it will do? just it will normally create it. But it will see here, do I have a Krishna.zip till even now? Even after unzipping also, I have that zip file. Understood? Okay. So all the softwares, whatever we download will come in zip format. We have to unzip them and then configure or install like map and whatever we see, the tongue and whatever we see, everything will come in a zip format. You have to download them and unzip them and then do that. Now, so this is a zip unzip format, right? Same like zip and unzip. There is same like zip formats. There is one more format. There is one more format called as tar. Tar, right? Some like we compress using zip, we compress, right? So to compress, there is one more format called as tar. So I want to tar a file. Same way how we create, right? So let me type first tar hyphen help. So there are different options we can pass to tar. That is, where are those? C, create X somewhere, extract. These are two important things. C means create, X means extract. Next, V means verbose, somewhere it will be there. Let me show you. C. Somewhere, are you able to see? V means here. This is capital V, small v will be there. See, verbose. See, V means verbose. Now, Z is there, hyphen Z. Gzip something, gun zip, it is showing. Z means compress something. It is. What is if you use Z? Filter the archive through gzip. So you can filter that using gzip. There is one more for what called as gzip. You can use that on that. But now tell me, if I'm typing hyphen help, it is giving full information, right? But I just want to know the information about just this one, something like what is there, hyphen f. See, if I want to search for hyphen f, I have to search like this, right? But I just want the information about hyphen f. How to get? Is there a way where I can get only hyphen f like this? See, I can I use this hyphen f?
Hyphen help.
Hyphen help I'm already using, but it is giving full information. I just want to know about hyphen f, right? Grep. It is saying options required for argument f grep help. Sorry, how to pass grep. Now it is troubling me. Just a second. Sometimes I'll put things. So wherever I search for archive, it is giving like this, but hyphen f special symbol, it is not taking. Just treating this minus f an option. Let me use. Okay. So if I use a escape symbol, because it is treating minus f as minus, here is the right special symbol minus that hyphen it is taking. So taking. So in that case, what should I do? I have to use escape character to treat it as a normal text. I have to use escape character. So I use this. So now it is saying wherever hyphen f is there, it is showing everything. So here hyphen f is there. So file means it is a file. You are archiving a file. Okay. So now I want to, I want to tar. That archive means that GIF formats, that compressed formats we call in general as archive. Now the same, I have something called as set file dot as word count.txt is there. I want to tar it. Tar, I cannot give like general like this. It is saying something. It is you may not specify more than one, something it is saying. But before doing this, let me tell one thing. For zip, we have a zip command. For unzip, we have unzip command. But for tar, there are no separate commands for tar and untar. There are no commands like tar and untar. We have only tar, which we can use for both tar and untar, but using the options like CVF, create verbose file. CVF means create verbose file. So if you use JED also means you can filter that. Inside that we can filter using the gunzip commands are there, we can filter on that. But C means create, verbose means it will print. It will print the file has been archived, something like that. Okay. Now F means files. We are archiving it. We are doing a tar on a file. It is saying something. Okay. One thing we forgot here. What is that? What is that? This one. Yes. Yeah. Anything, but this is a source file. What you want to tar. But once you tar, what is going to be the file name, right? Something word.tar. This tar file, that means the output file, you can keep it in the current location, or else if you give the path, it will store it in some other location. Same for zip also, right? If I give some other location for the source file also, if the source file is not in the current location, you can give the path of that file, wherever it is, absolute or relative path. From there, it will zip and store it in the location, current location. For this also, if you give a remote or absolute, relative or absolute path, based on that, it will store. So for now, I'm taking both in the same location. Now, if I type, how it is coming, it is printing here. Because I gave minus here, V I gave. So verbose means the result it will print here. If I don't give minus V, it will not print here. Okay. So now do I have this zip file word.tar? If I type ls word.tar, is it there? Okay, I want to untar it. I can use the same command, same tar command. This file I want to untar, but last time we used create. C means create. Now we want to extract it, unzip it, right? Untar it. So there is no specific command for untar. That is X we have to use, extract. See, it has been extracted. If I type ls, this has been overridden. Word count.txt has been overridden. Understood, guys? Okay. Now, again, one more thing. If I type mkdir, testdir something, right? Did it create the directory? To make sure whether the directory is created or not, you have to type ls and make sure that testdir is created. But while using mkdir, if I use minus v, same like I use for zip and unzip, if I use minus v, it is okay. File exists mkdir1. Let me use mkdir1, testdir1. See, it is saying output. As I used verbose, it is saying mkdir, create a directory testdir1. It is giving the output. But if you don't use minus v, it will not use. Understood, guys? Okay. So this is how we use them. Okay. Fine. That is about this zip and unzip. So we have for zip, we have different commands, zip and unzip. For tar, we don't have untar, so we use XVF. For untar, CVF for create. Okay. Yes. Okay. So there are different options. You can remember about that. Just read the document, you will get other options. Next, this cron tab will come in a moment. Before that, let me explain one important command, service. See, if I install something on this, like Jenkins or some other external tool I install, okay, config. On Linux, we do installations and we do configurations also. So there is a difference between configuration and installation. Okay, right? What is that installation? Right? That I'll discuss later. We'll see that. This, anything, whatever we install, I can manage them with the service command. Service command. Service Jenkins start. I want to start. Once I install a software on my Linux machine, it is not started by default. I want to start it. After installation, I have to start it based on the behavior of that. Few may start automatically, but we will not start. So I want to start it. For now, if you see here, Jenkins is not there on my mission. Jenkins is not there. So that is the reason it is throwing error. Or else I want to stop my Jenkins. Stop. I want to restart my Jenkins. Restart. Like this, if you have any installation, if you have any services installed on your machine, like external tool, if you want to start or stop them, service is the command, right? Along with that, system systemctl is a command. Systemctl is a command. Same like service, we can use systemctl as well, but this is advanced one coming from Linux 7 version. I think it is advanced one. See, systemctl. Okay, same like service. Okay, so you remember this. We use like your fingers will pain like that. Those many times we use this. Okay, don't worry. We'll discuss about this. Understood, guys? Okay. Next, service. Next about test command. What is this is, I want to test either A greater than B or not. Like that, I want to test. We can use test command. We can use test command for that. We will see this in maybe today only we'll see in the shell scripting class. Okay. Next, ping command. One of the important things. They'll ask in the interview like this. I have A and B missions. I have A and B missions. I have A and B missions. I'm trying to make a SSH connection to this. I'm trying to make a SSH connection to this. Means I'm trying to do SCP or rsync, SSH, something I'm trying to do from this mission to this mission, but it is not connecting due to some issue. Or it's like they'll tell I'm unable to connect from A mission to remote mission B mission. So how can make sure I'm able to connect like that? They'll ask. Right? So in such cases, what we can do is we can use ping command. Ping IP address. IP address of destination mission. IP address of this mission, if you give, what it will do is it will not connect or get inside this. It will just make sure it will send a request packet. Yes, I'm able to reach this to this or not. For example, let me type this google.com. Ping google.com. It is sending a packet. Yes, my mission is able to connect to google.com. See, it is sending a request packet. Happily, it is connecting and getting back. Means from my mission, I can access Google. I can access Google for something. Ping googleabc.com. Is there something like this? I don't think so. So if I send it, see, it is saying name or service not known, means that is not there. But if I give something, some IP address, 172.6. Something, some IP address. If I type this, is it able to send a packet? It is sending, but it is not getting the response. Means my mission is unable to connect to this instance. There is a Linux server with this IP address, but my mission is unable to connect to that. It will give error because it is not able to connect. Means I cannot make a connection between from my mission to that mission. Maybe they are blocking all the other IP addresses, security group, something like firewalls. They are not allowing. But Google though, I can connect. When I type ping google.com, it is able to connect. Means from my mission, I can access Google. Understood, guys? Understood? Okay. This is how we can check whether we are able to make the connection or not. Just for a check. Okay. We use ping command. Next, diff. So if there are any differences between a file, means I have two files. I just want to print. There are some common lines. Other than that, the difference, the lines will be there, right? Those I want to print. For that, I can use a diff command. Okay, you can just try it on us. And this is one more interview question. This is one more interview question. If I have a file of 10 GB, I want to split that file into 10 files based on the memory, like 1 GB. So I have a file with 10 GB. I want to split into 10 files, each having 1 GB. How to split is like this. Split is a command, file name, and how we want to split. Memory -- bytes equal to 1 G, means 1 GB. So this file is going to split into 10, means 10 files, or like any files. How many? If it has 2 GB, it will split into 2 files. If it is 5 GB, each we are giving for one file 1 GB, right? Like if it has 4.5 GB, then 4 files, an extra 1.5 GB. So it will that 0.5 GB, it will split as 5th file. Understood? So this is one of the interview question. So along this, I have given some other like Unix based. Generally, these are for Linux administration purpose and all. You just check it, go through that. Okay, interview question. Just remember it. You may not understand few things. Just for interview purpose, you just remember this. This is for Unix administration and all. They'll ask just for sample. I added few questions. You just go through this. Okay. Next, I'll share few interview questions. Okay, I'll share few interview questions now. You no need to give answer and give it to me. All right, you just go through that interview question, 4 files or 3 or 4 files I'll share. Just go through that. Try to answer each and every question, whether you can able to answer or not. Check it, each and every question. Understood? Okay. Okay. Next, one more thing. Take one more assignment. I'll discuss this also tomorrow. You remind me. If I don't discuss, you just remind me. I'll discuss about that. Did I give any assignment yesterday? What is assignment yesterday? I gave 2 assignments. Quick guys, this is in recording.
Create Red Hat instance AWS.
Okay.
And to find out version.
Have you found that? Have you created a Red Hat instance and you were able to find that? You were able to find that instance version and all. Did anyone try it? Okay, you don't answer, you don't try it. Next, when you face some issues, you don't ping me, sir. They asked this interview question, I'm unable to do this. They gave me this task. I was not able to execute the interview. They'll ask, like, show me one Linux mission. They'll give in nowadays interviews. They're giving you a Linux instance and asking you to execute some commands and do that. Now, in such cases, if they ask you to find that Linux version and all, if you can't find it, yesterday class only I discussed.
Yeah.
We
We can use that.
Cat.
We can go to
Huh.
directory
Hmm.
and then start.
Why you haven't done that? If you can do this, tell that. You can do it, right? What's wrong in doing once?
You showed us yesterday.
Okay. But I showed it on Amazon Linux. That is the reason I said to try on a Red Hat instance, because there it will show some different information. Right? The values will be different. That is the reason I asked to check. Okay. Then second assignment, I asked to check the IP address, something.
Create file with inlines of text with each line.
Okay.
Words. Good morning.
Okay. Have you tried that? Okay, that is it. Okay. Have you tried that? Whatever it is, I don't know. That's why I gave assignment. You have to try. Anyone online? Have you guys tried? Sir, మమ్మల్ని ఎందుకు అడుగుతారు సార్? ఊరికే మీ పని మీరు చూసుకోండి అంటారా?
Sir, we did modifications but unable to save in the same file, sir.
You have, that is the assignment, right? Everything I discussed, unable to save to the same file. You have to. Why can't you use pipe symbol cat greater than the same file name?
Yeah, I did, sir. But after executing, I tried to check again cat previous file name, but it
Okay.
didn't. It is not showing any content in the file.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what the issue faced.
Then after facing that issue, what you did? You closed your laptop, right?
I googled for some other method, sir. They
Good. That's
they
good.
told,
You have to Google. If you get any error or if you have any doubt or with any assignment, just Google it. Google will give plenty of answers. Okay, then you're able to find? No.
yes, sir. They showed one more method like file name ampersand symbol, and again mv command. I think they used like that, sir.
Okay, you try once again then. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, keep that. You don't know the answer, right? You keep that as a note. We'll discuss. Next, take one more assignment. Create a quick guys. Create a Red Hat instance. Create a Red Hat instance. Right? Then check the IP address using ifconfig. Okay. Done. Okay. Next assignment. What is chase command? CHAGE. What is chase? CHAGE command. And how to use it? There are different ways you can. There are different options to use it. What few options and 1 or 2. Why we use that? You try to find it out. Understood, guys? Okay. Okay. This said I discussed. Change I haven't discussed. I know. Next. Yes. No. Soft links. Okay, we'll discuss the soft links next time. Next discussed. See, for that assignment, whatever I just gave, right before change, I gave check if config. If config will not come by default in Red Hat. You have to install it. But how to install, I don't know. You may try it for sure. That way, you know, if you try to install, you'll get error, but there is some other way. You check it. That is assignment. If I teach everything, what you will learn, you'll forget everything. So that's why I'm giving you assignments. So you will not forget when you try your own. Okay, I think I discussed almost all. Only soft link is pending. Soft link is not now. I'll discuss later. Okay, that's it about your Linux, guys. Oh, okay, the meeting will end in a minute. Rejoin back.